Mounting a subpanel directly over an existing pull box can introduce a series of electrical code and safety violations, impacting the overall integrity and safety of the electrical system. These violations typically fall under both the National Electrical Code, known as the NEC, and Underwriters Laboratories, known as UL standards. Let's examine these potential violations in detail. Firstly, NEC Section 110.3b addresses the installation and use of listed or labeled equipment. This section states that equipment must be installed and used in accordance with any instructions included in the listing or labeling. When a subpanel is mounted over another enclosure, especially one used as a pull box, it can compromise the equipment's intended operation and safety features, deviating from the manufacturer's instructions and potentially voiding the UL listing. Secondly, NEC Section 110.26am focuses on workspace about electrical equipment. This section mandates that sufficient access and working space be provided and maintained around electrical equipment to permit ready and safe operation and maintenance of such equipment. Mounting a subpanel directly above a pull box significantly obstructs access to both the subpanel and the pull box. This limited accessibility hinders maintenance, troubleshooting, and any necessary repairs, directly violating the code's intent to provide a safe working environment for electricians and other qualified personnel. Thirdly, NEC Section 312.8 pertains to the use of enclosures for splices and taps. While it allows for splices and taps within enclosures under certain conditions, it strictly requires that the wiring space is not filled to more than 75% of the cross-sectional area of the space, and that all splices and taps are made by suitable connectors or methods as identified in NEC Section 110.14b. If the existing pull box is already near its capacity with existing wiring, adding more conductors or splices related to the new subpanel could easily exceed the 75% fill limitation. Moreover, the physical obstruction caused by the subpanel above complicates the ability to properly inspect and maintain the splices and taps within the pull box. Fourthly, NEC Section 408.16 stipulates that panel boards must be readily accessible. This means that the panel board should be able to be approached or entered quickly without the need to climb over or remove obstacles or to resort to portable ladders. Installing a subpanel above a pull box inherently restricts this accessibility. Any maintenance or inspection work on the subpanel would be significantly complicated, requiring additional time and effort to create a safe and workable space. In addition to NEC violations, UL standards also come into play. UL 508 specifically covers the construction of industrial control panels, which includes panel boards and subpanels. A key requirement of UL 508 is that the panel must provide adequate ventilation to prevent overheating of internal components. Mounting a subpanel directly over a pull box can restrict airflow around both enclosures, potentially leading to elevated temperatures within the subpanel. Overheating can degrade the performance and lifespan of circuit breakers, conductors, and other components, increasing the risk of failures and electrical hazards. Furthermore, UL 50, which covers enclosures for electrical equipment, mandates that enclosures must be designed and installed to protect enclosed components from physical damage and environmental factors. The practice of cutting holes in the back of enclosures to pass conductors through, as described with the 6-inch by 8-inch cutout, may compromise the enclosure's integrity and its ability to provide adequate protection. Such modifications can weaken the enclosure, making it more susceptible to damage from impacts or environmental elements like moisture and dust. Beyond code and standards violations, there are significant safety concerns associated with this configuration. The close proximity of the two panels can create a fire hazard. Should an electrical fault occur in either panel, the limited space and restricted ventilation can allow heat to build up rapidly, increasing the likelihood of a fire spreading. Additionally, the physical obstruction caused by the subpanel above makes it more difficult to quickly access and shut down the electrical system in the event of an emergency. The coordination of overcurrent protection devices is another critical consideration. The overcurrent devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses, in both the subpanel and the pull box must be properly coordinated to ensure that a fault is cleared quickly and effectively. Improper coordination can lead to nuisance tripping of upstream breakers, resulting in unnecessary downtime, or, more seriously, can prevent a fault from being cleared in a timely manner, increasing the risk of equipment damage and electrical hazards. The physical separation and accessibility issues introduced by this configuration can complicate the process of verifying and maintaining proper coordination. Jurisdictional interpretations also play a crucial role. Local authorities having jurisdiction, known as HA, have the final say in interpreting and enforcing the NEC and other applicable codes and standards. An AHA may have specific requirements or interpretations that further restrict the described installation. It is essential to consult with the local AHA to ensure full compliance with all applicable regulations. Given these numerous potential violations and safety concerns, it is highly recommended to avoid mounting a subpanel directly over an existing pull box. Instead, consider the following alternative solutions. Firstly, relocate the subpanel. The most straightforward solution is to relocate the subpanel to a location that complies with all NEC and UL requirements. This location should provide ample access and working space, adequate ventilation, and protection from physical damage and environmental factors. The new location should also allow for easy access to the subpanel for maintenance, troubleshooting, and repairs. Secondly, use a proper junction box. Instead of relying on an existing panel as a pull box, install a properly sized and rated junction box specifically designed for that purpose. The junction box should have sufficient capacity to accommodate all conductors and splices without exceeding the fill limitations specified in the NEC. It should also be readily accessible for inspection and maintenance. Thirdly, consult with an electrician and the authority having jurisdiction. Before making any changes to the electrical system, consult with a qualified electrician and the local authority having jurisdiction. They can provide expert advice and guidance to ensure that the proposed solution meets all applicable codes and regulations. They can also help identify any potential problems or hazards that may not be immediately apparent. In summary, mounting a subpanel directly over an existing pull box introduces a range of potential NEC and UL violations, as well as significant safety concerns. By relocating the subpanel, using a proper junction box, and consulting with qualified professionals, these violations can be avoided, and the safety and reliability of the electrical system can be ensured. Remember, prioritizing safety and compliance is essential when working with electrical systems.